All right, so good morning and welcome to Gettysburg, Pennsylvania for the very first episode in this series. And there's no better way to kick off July 1st, 1863 by being where it all started. And that's not on the highway about to get hit by a truck. That is right here at Cashtown Inn. July 1st, 1863 saw Confederate troops moving in to the town of Gettysburg. And where we're standing right now is where everything started kicking off that elemented that three-day battle. We're right here at the Cashtown Inn. We're probably around 8 miles or so outside of the city of Gettysburg and the first day's battlefield. But this place behind me here at Cashtown Inn was the place where all of the Confederate troops started moving through on their way to town. On this road you see right behind me. So thousands upon thousands of Confederate troops started moving through into Gettysburg, coming down this road, passing in front of this building. So this building here at Cashtown Inn, it was built in the 1790s, and its first innkeeper was here, and he had a toll. This was basically a toll road. So people would have to pay tolls to come through here. And let's get out of traffic so we don't get hit by a car. Maybe a good idea. So the toll road's here, and people will come through this way. And the reason why it's called Cashtown is because he will only take cash. So no credit, not credit cards, but put anything on credit. They didn't have credit cards back then, man. So right here at Cashtown, you had the little town that was surrounding this place, which you see right behind me here in Cashtown. This was basically the end of the town. So July 1st, 1863, you have all these Confederate troops moving through, but this wasn't the first time they were here. Early in October 1862, you had Confederate troop movements in this area, and then on June the 26th, 1863, you had Confederate elements move past here into the town of Gettysburg for the first time, where they encountered, of course, members of the 26th Pennsylvania Emergency Militia Unit. And when they got to somewhere in this area, they were assaulted by some bushwhackers, and one of the bushwhackers actually shoots and kills one of the Confederate soldiers on June the 26th, and he dies later of a mortal wound, of course. But on July 1st, 1863, you have General A.P. Hill that comes here, and he is laid up in here in a cot. He is sick, as he normally is. And he is like that in that state when General Robert E. Lee gets here to Cashtown sometime around 10 or 11 that morning. So General Robert E. Lee comes in. He asks A.P. Hill, says, "Hey, Hill, what's all the shooting going on?" Hill had sent a reconnaissance out to Gettysburg. They had encountered or had observed Buford's cavalry come back, reported what they saw. Hill has sent out a second reconnaissance, and then that's when the first shots in the Battle of Gettysburg actually starts. So Lee gets here, asks Hill, "What's going on?" Hill's like, "I'm not really for sure, General." That's not a good thing. So Lee ends up coming here. This serves as a temporary headquarters for a little while. You have Longstreet that comes through here. You have Pettigrew that comes through here. All these famous Confederate generals went right in here. And of course, you got A.P. Hill laid up in here on the cot. Well, this is where A.P. Hill gives all those orders that kicks off, well, the most bloody battle on American soil. So A.P. Hill gets word that the Battle of Gettysburg starts while he's laying right here, and this is where he gives the order that starts the bloodiest battle in American history. So we got to be a little quiet because it is still dark and this is an inn. But right here in front of the Cashtown Inn, you have a placard commemorating Bowdoin's Brigade, 18th Virginia Cavalry, 62nd Virginia Infantry, Virginia Partisan Rangers, and Virginia Battery, July 3rd, command guarding trains. Reached the field at noon, retired with the trains at night. No report nor details of losses. So one of the things about Cashtown Inn is after the battle, along this road, right in front of the inn, is where this long wagon train, 17 miles long, of wounded and supplies are going. So you have literature here when you come to Cashtown that tells you you're standing right where General A.P. Hill and Robert E. Lee stood on the morning of July the 1st, 1863, while listening to the distant sounds of the battle raging in Gettysburg in that direction. So this is a very famous photograph called Serious Work Ahead by Dale Gallion, as General Robert E. Lee is conferring with General A.P. Hill in front of the Cashtown Inn. But in reality, General A.P. Hill was laid up in the cot here, sick. So, but this is right where General Lee stood. And Confederate troops were marching right down this road on their way to Gettysburg.
I'll put my light in a bottle, something to guide your way. Even if you're too scared to follow, there's a light in each new day.
So we have moved to our next location here in Gettysburg, and it's a little bit more light outside. So we have come to where everything kicks off on July the 1st, 1863. And this is probably one of the most, in my opinion, overlooked places on the battlefield at Gettysburg, but the most important. And that is right here on Whistler Ridge at the Ephraim Whistler House. Now, this home was standing here at the time of the battle, and it was owned by a man by the name of Ephraim Whistler. And he lived in this home, of course, with his family. Just like anybody else in America, this was a community. It was filled with civilians. So he is living here, but on the morning of July the 1st, 1863, Illinois cavalry troops have vedettes set up all over this place here in Gettysburg. And this was the site of one of those vedette posts. That vedette post was somewhere in this general vicinity. And this is where Marcellus Jones, there's the truck. This is where Marcellus Jones would arrive on the morning of July the 1st, 1863, as he's going from vedette post to vedette post, checking out the situation, seeing what's going on. And he comes to this place because they get an alert that they have Confederate troops moving down this road, which is right behind the tree line that's here now. This wasn't the tree line at the time, but they were standing in this area. He sees the Confederate troops approaching, a Confederate column approaching down this road, and he grabs a carbine from one of his sergeants that's standing next to him, called Schaefer's. And Schaefer's, as a member of the 8th Illinois Cavalry, obeys the order, hands the carbine over to him, and Marcellus Jones says, "Let me start this ball." Fires the first shot of the Battle of Gettysburg in this spot. And this is what kicks off the Battle of Gettysburg. And today you have a marker here. Someone has come out for the anniversary, put up some Illinois, an Illinois flag, an American flag here on the first shot marker. And it says, first shot, July 1st, 1863, Gettysburg, 7:30 a.m. 7:30 in the morning, he fires his first shot. It kicks the Battle of Gettysburg off. Fired by Captain Jones with Sergeant Schaefer's carbine, Company E, 8th Illinois Cavalry. And then right here you have erected in 1886. There's a photo of all the veterans standing around this marker. We'll put that up now. And it's taken actually from right here. What happens here doesn't quite end with that first shot. Ephraim Whistler, of course, is running out of his home. He's scared to death just like any other citizen would be. And he comes out, and the Confederate army that's pushing in ends up setting up a cannon right in the middle of this road a little ways in front of me. Guy comes out the house that owns the house where the cannon's in front of, basically in his front yard, screaming to Confederate troops, no, 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 get this out of here, get this out of here. Well, they start shelling this position. Ephraim Whistler is outside somewhere in this area when a shell falls, knocking him to the ground, shell-shocked. A month later, he dies of shock, and it's said to be it's causing some kind of heart issues. So, but nevertheless, no matter what the problem was, where he died from, Ephraim Whistler becomes the first casualty of the Battle of Gettysburg, first civilian casualty of the Battle of Gettysburg. Now, a lot of people are going to argue that Jenny Wade was the only civilian killed during the Battle of Gettysburg. Yes, that is true. She was the only one shot and killed. Ephraim Whistler, however, in my opinion, is the first civilian casualty of the Battle of Gettysburg. And Jenny Wade isn't the only civilian casualty of Gettysburg. The first actual civilian killed here in Gettysburg is actually a dog, and it's killed somewhere in this area. So if you want to be technical about it, a dog was the first to die at the Battle of Gettysburg. But yes, Jenny Wade was, in a sense, the first civilian casualty or civilian killed by enemy bullets here in Gettysburg. But Ephraim Whistler died from wounds sustained on the first day's battle, and this is that location. So there you go. There's a little bit about how the first day of the Battle of Gettysburg starts right here in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. And we're going to get out of here. We're going to continue on here in Gettysburg for Gettysburg 160. Stay tuned for the next episode. And thank you guys so much. Until next time, keep preserving history. Stay safe. We'll see you soon.